are not sent to FIDE, they are just counted as United States Federation's rating. And so you would see maybe a different level, even if someone's FIDE is say 2000, maybe their USCF could be up to 200 points higher. So sometimes I'm not sure if they took that 100% into consideration when deciding the matches or not, but that is something. Okay, hopefully I haven't said anything bad for the New York team, but just as a note, important note.
No, I certainly don't think that they will blame us for that. But I think it was sort of taken into consideration because when the ratings were shared, they looked at both.
Okay.
But yeah, you see a lot of cases in the U.S. of players who have like 1800, like Jed Sloan, whose position I have now, and he just concluded with what seems to be a really nice attack.
I told you, he's a very, very creative player.
Yeah, so he sacrificed a pawn to get an attack here, and he did manage to checkmate.
Ooh, knight f6.
Checkmate black.
Could that knight be captured? Like
that is the question.
Or is it
because
complete?
I guess we just take back and then play queen h4, maybe.
There's some clever bishop d6 for black.
Maybe bishop d6. Yeah, that might hold. I wonder, maybe is capturing the only move? I do wonder if we can play something like knight takes h7, but actually knight takes h7, knight takes, bishop takes. Maybe you can get away with king g7 here.
Do I have to? Can I take the bishop as well?
Maybe. ef, and then actually queen f8, queen h6.
Queen
so that's
f8,
okay. Yeah. So maybe taking that knight, what would have happened there? Yeah, and
so it was a trick. It was just tricked. He bluffed his opponent then.
Well, maybe this is still. I'm not entirely sure. Maybe this is still.
Queen d8.
Queen d8. Now can we play knight takes h7?
Maybe Queen
h5. Then you'll take on f6. It's tricky. I mean, it's.
Yeah, it's not mate if you lose the f6 pawn. Yeah.
No. And
knight h7, I can probably take both pieces and then run back to e8 with the king. Is that?
Yeah,
is that
maybe. Knight takes.
Or I can not take the bishop, maybe just play king f8.
But actually, yeah. We can try to play some kind of rook c3, but it might be too slow. Yeah, I don't know. This would require some depth of analysis, but black did instead go king h8, and then it looks like it's mate after queen h4. So, good win for Jed. We had a Singapore win here. Jason Go playing against Justin Sarkar.
Ooh.
And Justin Sarkar is strong. I mean, I feel like he's stronger than the rating. So that's a nice win for Singapore with black. Colors will alternate, by the way. So if players that were white in this game will be black next game. The score actually looks very, very close right now. If all the games, I know the Irina Krush game was a disconnection. I don't know if they'll replay that one or not. But I think Liu Rifan was having some problems. Let's look at Joel again.
Wow, what a change. What a change from that position. He was able to trade some pieces, but this doesn't look good. The pair of bishops should be pretty strong.
Those bishops are good. It's a question of whether these knights can blockade everything. I kind of doubt it. I mean, you never know. There's not a lot of material, so if he can maybe he gets a light squared. The problem is one of the knights will have to defend the light squares from the dark squares. That's how the knights work, if I remember this from my childhood. So that, one of them, you can target each of them with a bishop if they try to defend each other. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about bishop takes a7. I think maybe he lost time doing that.
Yeah,
that pawn might not have been so... Sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I was going to say that I don't think that might have been so important. It wasn't advanced enough to really be worried about it. But I don't know if he had something. before.
Yeah, I was thinking bishop d7 for white, because this construction with the knight on e6 and king on f7 or e7 looks pretty solid.
Yeah, and sorry, the layout was not perfect there. I just fixed it a little bit. Yeah, it looks like black might actually hold this. Who knows? Although with dwindling time, it's hard to play these positions. It's easier to blunder, I think, with the defending side. So that's interesting. So it is very close, actually. The score appears to be 9.5 to 9.5, if this is right. So extremely close.
A little bit earlier, could we have tried, like, instead of taking that pawn, bishop, maybe bishop d7 or something? Would that have been an option? I'm trying to think a way to actually take advantage of the pair of bishops and restrict those knights. Like, with that, I think that probably would have, right?
Yeah, possibly. So here,
because the king has made it to kind of support.
Yeah, it looks like maybe king d5 would have been a good move here.
Or king d5. I think just king f7 probably should not have been, and e6, the blockade in e6 probably shouldn't have been allowed.
Yeah, because now, probably not. Yeah, because I agree. Once the knights get, now it's going to be hard to make progress because you still have to keep an eye on the f4 pawn. So it's hard to bring the king too far. Yeah, maybe Joel will hold this, which would be a good hold for the New York team. What else? Carissa. Let's go back to Carissa. Carissa looks like the black queen could be in some problems. She can probably get the queen for rook and piece here with rook to g5. And then the question is whether that is going to be winning. With the idea queen takes h6, rook g8. It's probably good for white. Oh, bishop e2 she plays. Okay, interesting.
Yep. Now maybe bishop g5.
Yeah, bishop g5 is winning more material than bishop g5 might just be completely winning here. Although the threat of bishop f6 is not a threat which we should, well, it's a threat, but queen takes f6 does sort of make it a little complicated. So the threat is probably really to play queen h4 first or something like that. Or bishop h5, actually.
Bishop h5.
Yeah, bishop h5 is a really big threat. Not to mention, of course, you can take the rook, but if you're trying to do more...
Some other game that I saw finished in Singapore's favor, I think... Wait. Was it the one Sivakumar against... No, that game? Yeah, Sivakumar against Sai Vincent. It's... and also, I don't know if you looked at the game between Nico Chasin. Actually, that turned out in Singapore's favors.
Yeah, Nico Chasin. So that was the game, that was the Benko game that we were looking at a little bit earlier. And in that game...
It looks like black was able to take advantage of those
pawns,
weaknesses. Yeah.
Oh, he played 98.
He played 98. He's
maybe we should have both played in the team. You know?
Yeah.
Maybe we feel. I'm joking. I'm joking. No.
Channeling his inner Daniel Fernandez here. Played knight to e8. By the way, Daniel, it is funny. There is a titled player, a quite strong international master named Daniel Fernandez, who is quite well known in U.S. chess circles.
Yeah.
So you have a namesake in the U.S. Do you know him by any chance, or?
I've never actually met him, but we've messaged a few times because we both find it hilarious.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty funny. He's written he plays a lot of aggressive openings, and he's a good blitz player. I think he does stream quite a bit now too. So, So in this game,
the database is crossed.
Yeah.
Yeah, at first I wasn't sure whom we were going to talk like in the beginning of the conversations, and I was like, What, really? I didn't know he moved to Singapore. That's what I had in my mind. And then Elshan had told me, no, Sabina, this is someone else. This is someone else. They're different people. Okay.
That is quite funny.
So this c4 is certainly a good move for, I think, for Banco players when they get to play that c4. It's very annoying, and Benoni's too. When Black gets to play that move and get to knight in d3, it's very painful. And I only say that because I played myself with White, and I've allowed that to happen a few times, and it was very painful.
Yeah.
So.
So how many? We still have some games, I guess, that are going on. Joel, is he holding this end game? Nothing has changed, so I would say he's holding, but it's a question of, with the dwindling time, whether that will actually keep being the case or not.
Okay, what other games can you? Maybe we can see some more of the kids games or the
lower, for sure. Some of the young players we haven't seen yet. Ian Nicholson here. Those are, I believe, the youngest players here. If he finds the move Rook B3, oh yeah, and he did. He just played it. That position does seem to be winning for White. Now, I don't know these guys. You know, I've been out of. It shows that I'm getting older. Ethan Modi here with White. With Black. So here Singapore seems to be likely to take this one here. He's up a piece.
Yeah. Singapore is incredibly good at bullet.
This kid is very good at bullet.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Cool. It's always tricky when I hear a kid gets good at bullets, because you, as a player yourself who's worked hard to get there, I think, I don't know, I don't think there are so many players who've made it to be super strong for playing bullet. I think I can only count them by name. People who, like Hikaru is definitely in the United States, and then Andrew Tang, right? They seem to be like amazing at bullet, and they've gotten to a pretty high level. But you don't hear of so many people who get. So he definitely has to add something aside from the bullet to continue his progress, I think. But okay, hopefully you guys agree with me, and I'm not just starting a fight here. But I think it's good to learn to appreciate chess, other forms of chess, not just bullet. So hopefully,
yeah. Well, it's sort of been fascinating to watch some of the strong players of today. People like Firouzja, who spent an insane amount of hours playing bullet chess and still do, and somehow are amazingly strong. And even Magnus Carlsen, who is of course part of Chess 24, himself plays like countless hours of bullet games, and he's amazingly good at it, as is Firouzja, as is Hikaru. And so some of those players somehow have managed to spend that much time playing bullet and still, in spite of that, I'm not going to say because of it, because that seems crazy, but they have still managed to become extremely strong at a young age. No,
but I mean, I don't think Magnus, or at least I didn't hear of him playing bullet when he was young. I know Hikaru was. Firouzja, I completely forgot about him, but yeah, he's playing a lot too. But I don't think Magnus was playing as much when he was young. I mean, I'm not saying he's old now. But like he's made it where he is as one of the. He's my favorite player. I gotta say that, not because I'm on Chess 24, but I always say he really is one of my favorite players ever. And he's I think he's made it up there not by playing bullet, right? I mean
I think you're right.
I mean, he plays these days. He does play a lot. Like everyone is watching him everywhere. On different chess platforms, but I think you need a lot to build up more stuff, not just that, and try to become a stronger player.
Yeah, I do agree. I don't think, and Magnus clearly has a lot of sort of classical chess training, right? Like, so he clearly
Yes.
is studied the world champions. He's studied end games. He knows, like, he's just someone who loves chess so much that he's done everything. But I think he also did spend a lot of time playing blitz, like more than someone like Kasparov ever would have. Maybe because he's a online generation. I remember when I saw Magnus Carlsen at the World Championship or the World Cup, like when they had these little bracket, World Cup tournaments in Tripoli in Libya. That was in 2003, I think. So 17 years ago. So Magnus was something like 12 years old, and I remember he was playing, and he had a really good tournament. I think he beat a couple of like strong players. It was one of his like coming out events, and you would see him in the internet cafe because at the time, internet was not as good, but he was playing blitz games like after his matches. He was still playing blitz on ICC like in between, so which is quite funny. So, but yeah, so I think for someone like Kasparov, it must be frustrating to see because I think the old grandmasters would be like, this is crazy. Like you're gonna hurt your chest by playing all these bullet games. So,
True.
yeah.
True. It can be addictive too, in a way.
Tell me about it. Tell me about
To
it.
play. I've spent days myself a few years back playing till 4 or 5 a.m. So what can I say? I'm trying to get out of it, and especially when you become a coach as well, you try to show good behavior so that you don't instill that in your students. But I don't know. I don't know what to say about. Anyways, we should go back to the
Yeah.
match. I think it's been.
Well, we have
I see Danielle's face. He's not. He doesn't know what to say.
I have plenty of things to say about Bullet.
Good or bad?
Mostly good, actually.
Okay.
But it's important to remember that if you get to 2800 in Bullet, you've not actually accomplished anything. You've practiced. You've trained your instincts maybe a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not the accomplishment.
So what's
Yeah,
the
it's-
accomplishment then?
The accomplishment is it always has to be working towards over the board chess. I don't think
Okay.
online chess is ever going to supplant that.
Yeah, that's
True.
a fair point. So,
Yeah.
um,
All right. So this
oh
game
wow. So I think
seems-
there was a big upset here, just given what happened.
Ooh.
But Joel somehow won.
Oh my God.
Won Andre's bishop, and that could be something that. Oh wow. Well,
Wow.
I should have said that knights are trickier than bishops, but that seemed to be too cliche. So here, look at this
Wow.
position. Like, yeah, black has lost a bishop. Oh, and amazingly, it seems like he missed. If he had played bishop e8 here, maybe white was just winning. So what a turn! What a turn of events here.
That was
yeah,
completely unexpected.
Yeah, and so he played bishop to b3, and Joel had a fork, and then amazingly he decided to take the other bishop, and yeah, so now of course the knights are just going to take everything. So quite a turn around in that game. Joel Benjamin, very experienced U.S. player who. He's been on our U.S. seniors team has been very strong, right? Like the U.S. have won, I think, the World Senior Championship a few times in a row. So Joel has been a member of that team. But it seems like Singapore, according to this, is very slightly ahead, and we're almost at the end. So the results, I show 17.5 to 15.5 for Singapore, which is very close. And there's a few games left. Rachel Lee. Oh, the Rachel Lee game actually is still going on. It seems still
That
kind
pawn
of.
has made it way too far, that H pawn. I didn't expect that to happen.
Yeah, it provides a lot of counterplay for sure. We might have a situation with 4 queens on the board here, which is always fun. Maybe queen e5 check is good here because that does
She
force.
played it.
Yeah, because g3 is obviously not good because the queens will probably checkmate first.
Yeah, so black's actually just winning then.
Yeah.
King h3, queen, and then skewer.
Yeah. As Daniel points out, if king h3, yeah, the queen, and then we'll have queen h1 at the end, like this.
Yeah.
So.
But the other one also will lead to mate, yeah.
Yeah, here just queen e2,
now
queen
just
h1.
queen e2, yeah.
Yeah. Simple mate. So good game for Rachel Lee. You said she's 10 years old?
Yep. Or 9. I gotta double check.
Yeah, impressive. But this looks like the match is incredibly close. So whatever they did was whatever they did in terms of matching the teams seemed to have worked. And I don't know if you know Chloe Ga of the US playing against Kun Fang, but it seems like black is winning here too. So it might actually be a tied match, which would be pretty amazing.
I actually don't know Chloe Go. Not that I don't think I know Chloe. This is...
did she just... Did black just... Oh, no, black is fine. Black is putting the bishop on d8. Yeah, so this is just over now. They'll push the c-pawn and get that... force white to sacrifice the bishop.
And wow, I thought we were looking at a lot of games that US was winning, but it looks like...
I didn't do that on purpose.
Not sure no. Obviously, no. I mean, we're looking at some of them were not coming available immediately. I'm not sure. What do you see that's the score? When I'm refreshing the page, I'm getting the names a little bit mixed up, so I'm probably doing something wrong.
So if the way to see the score, you could do it in a few ways.
Okay.
If you do, if you're on the page of the event, let me actually.
I saw. Yeah, maybe people can also do it. I was actually looking underneath, and underneath the board. It actually it shows the players as they played, so it's mixed between the New York and Singapore team. But I guess if you click on the actual names right on top of the board to actually change it, then you see the correct.
And also if you go lower in the page and you click on standings, then you can actually see the board points. And right now I'm showing 18-16 in favor of Singapore, with 2 games still going on, and I'll have to double check, make sure it's accurate. We had so many games here to put through. I'm actually impressed with how it's worked. We do have, I think, pretty much all the games lined up on the broadcast page, so that did work. And so hopefully the score is right.
I'm not seeing one game. I think either they didn't play or maybe the players didn't show up. So those numbers will add up to, or see there that there's one.
Yeah, there is one that
game,
is empty. Yeah, I don't know which one was that one. Because it does seem like the only game left is this Chloe Ga we just ended, and is now. So that game is over. So I show 18-17 with one game not having happened. So
I'm showing 17-17 and a half, which is for sure not a possibility. So I don't know what's wrong with my computer. Okay.
Yeah, I see 17.
You see what?
17 and a half. Oh.
Yeah, 17 and a half. All I show up at the top.
All right. So my thing wasn't.
So let's go through. We can go through, I guess, board by board, but let me actually capture this in a different way.
This was crazy. This is certainly very crazy.
Yeah, and the Joel Benjamin finish, of course, a little bit of a fortunate one for the New York team here. It could turn out to be important. I should, though, say that the way the scoring is going to work is a little bit unusual. I think they will count matches as a win. So, for example, like winning 2-0 an individual match will count the same as winning 1.5 to half. So at the end, we can't only look at the final score to know who won. So it will be a little bit of extra complications.
Okay. it's certainly very exciting, and it's great to see again all of these players came in together. Thankfully, I mean, a lot of hard work behind the scenes to get this match together. So again, Kevin Goch had the idea to make this happen, and then a lot of people have been contacted and try to make this good experience for the players. We are I can say that I'm sure everyone is thankful to Chess24 for agreeing to host the event on the site, and I hope everyone is excited to play in each respective teams. And also let's not forget, this is a friendly match that also is meant to help raise money for COVID. So I think that's pretty awesome. Hopefully everyone who's watching agrees with us and is enjoying our time. I was just trying to talk a little bit while you were getting everything set up back ready, so that we don't have too much of a break. Hopefully.
Yeah, and it turns out that actually some of these guys already started. I'm going to try to show it this way. I know it doesn't have the names, but I will just tell you the names because it does look a lot better this way. But here we see playing Hall of Famer GM Johnny, which you can guess is John Fedorovitz. And so he is playing with the black pieces against Grandmaster, I can't say it. I'll let Daniel say it. But they've started quickly. John is not one to waste any time, and it's a Sicilian where Black has played d5, and it seemed like a reasonable position for Black to me here. But John is actually quite good in the Sicilian. Knows it very well. He's played it for a long time. Sometimes he plays too fast. Is his downfall. So that's the first game that I see.
You're talking about against Bowman.com. I can see that.
Yeah, I think you forgot to share something with us.
Oh, really? I apologize.
No, all good.
Let's try to share this live chess viewer.
All right, got it. We're good.
Okay. Although I do actually see, I'm a little bit confused because I see two games between the same players, which doesn't make sense.
I can see that same game as Bogo Indian.
And I do see Joel Benjamin here is playing with white, and he has a Queen C2 Miran Semislav.
Oh, this is gonna be fun.
Yeah, and Black played Bishop D6. Interesting. I have been sort of amazed at people playing A5. It's happened a few times in this Magnus Carlsen tournament. I guess not the Magnus Carlsen, the Lindors Abbey Rapid Challenge, which was sort of an amazing move. It's sort of fun to see completely fresh ideas happen these days with all the theory that already exists.
I remember the times when G4 line after Bishop D6, or first was Bishop E2 and then G4 idea was kind of popular. I think Kasparov probably was one of the first who brought it out, but okay, we don't have that today. But I remember the times when that was popular.
Yeah. Now in this game, I'm trying to match the names here. Apologize for it. Just looks so much better this way. I prefer to do it that way. So Barzed is okay. So this is Oliver Barbosa is Barzed, and he is playing against Wu Xiaobin, a grandmaster. Can you tell us about Wu Xiaobin? I feel like I have seen him at tournaments before a long time ago. Is he a professional chess player?
He was a professional chess player for a long time and also a coach, and he married a previous women's world champion, Siejun.
Uh-huh.
In 2003, maybe, he moved to Singapore and he was a coach there for a long time. He was also one of my first coaches.
Understood. So they have a very solid position here. Sort of a good should be an interesting game. Game 2 was between this is Kevin, the organizer of all this, the person we are thankful for making this happen, so he is playing against Mark Paragua with the white pieces, and they've played sort of a fun opening here where Black just played G5, and yeah, that should be a sharp game. Black is trying to play on the dark squares. Captures this pawn. Is this theory? I mean, they're playing very fast for something that seems really sharp.
Yeah, if it's theory, I've never seen it before.
Some Sicilian.
Let's look at how this all happened. It started as a Sicilian with bishop c4. So bishop f1 was sort of the old move. Bishop c4. Okay. Yeah, if it's theory, I've never seen this myself, but they have played very fast, and so, I mean, it's actually amazingly fast. They still have their whole 15 minutes here, so interesting game.
Both kings look very messy, but it just doesn't seem that either side can do much about it. So,
yeah,
we'll see.
Going down here, David Brodsky, who is playing against
Suli Yang.
Yeah, Suli Yang, exactly. Well, white usually is a little bit better in these positions. Black has the bishop pair, but is a little bit passive. Let's go to something that looks sharp. Let's go maybe to some of the younger.
Yeah, maybe we can take it this time from bottom to the top. Maybe that way we get to make sure we talk about some of the kids' games.
Yeah.
Although I don't know a lot. I don't know a lot of them.
So I went all the way to the bottom, and it's a good thing we got there because it might be that Black is getting checkmated. So we caught this game just in time here. Simone PM was a late addition to the New York team, and looks like she's gonna. Maybe that's Simone Morden is her name. She's 12 years old, and she is playing. Who is the Singapore player here? I believe Alinta Kwek, and white does seem to have. We can see how this all happened.
Okay, very normal opening.
Oh, so this is this was. It looks like here. Black had a fairly safe position, probably could take on e2 first, and be okay. And she took on e5, and then pawn takes e5 with the idea of bishop takes e2, pawn takes f6. Nice little Schwischenzug, I guess we call it, an intermediate move. And now white is threatening queen g5, and so yeah, this is already losing. Even if pawn takes f6, then white would just win a piece. Sorry. All right. So
she could still avoid mate with bishop h5, right? I'm missing something.
Maybe bishop h5 here. Yeah, good point. Would not be mate. Would just be because queen g5.
Queen g5.
G6, yeah.
h4 maybe.
H4 maybe h6. Yeah.
Or h6.
Yeah.
So I guess maybe we should take in g7, and then the rook would just go, and that pawn would not create much. Actually, there was a looks like that game was over, but since we're looking at the other game between Kevin Goh and Mark Paragua, we were wondering what was happening. Actually, that game they agreed on a draw. So
really. It
got us so excited about what's going to happen, and then they were like, "Okay, fine." Well,
that is funny. All right, so next game. This I guess is board And I may not have every single one. Maybe not every single one of them has started here, but 33. So board 33 should be...
Rice Lauren against Field. Is that
so
the one?
Girl on Fire. Yeah, that's Rice Lauren. Yeah, exactly. So this is in the under 15 section of the girls. Black has to play, I guess, bishop h6 to defend the knight. But white is up a pawn and seems to have a nice pin on this knight. So this looks like a good position for white.
But it's not easy to progress. That knight in e3 is kind of annoying. Maybe if you can try to get it out, like, but rook c2, I'm not sure.
Maybe some tactics with knight d6. I don't know if they work. Well, maybe they do. Trying to take this, or trying to either take b5 or take f7. Maybe sometimes, I don't know. Maybe rook f1. But yeah, no, you're right. It's not that trivial to progress. Yeah, interesting. All right, now trying to go. So 36.
Okay, more games are showing up now.
Yeah,
so.
Exactly. So some of them have just taken a few minutes to start.
The one right on top of that one was Mak Xiuning Charlene against Vu Alice. Vu Alice is also young girl, an up and coming talent in the US, I think.
And she's the one playing black in this game, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and so they played the Italian, very popular at all levels now. And a quick d5, which is one of the sharper ways to meet it. Okay, so they went
g5.
quickly for some tactics. So exploiting the fact that the knight can be attacked here. So black played knight f4. Interesting. So with sort of a neat idea, of course, she doesn't want to take back on f4 because f7 would fall. So she plays hg now. And then I guess bishop b3. Huh. Interesting. Looks like black has played okay. She is... Knight a5 is a sort of a typical plan. Try to get the bishop away from this diagonal, and when the bishop leaves, then you can usually play bishop e6 and try to come with the knight c4 or bishop c4. Okay, white might be able to play bishop c5 and knight e3, and have to watch for h4 at some point maybe. But black should be in a decent position.
Personally, I'd probably just take on c5 and play queen e3 and go for a long endgame there.
Yeah, that's true too.
Something like that might happen.
Yeah.
For exchange.
She played bishop c2, bishop b6. Yeah, so after bishop c2, white had a threat to play bishop c5, queen c5. Oh no, there was just a threat of b4 right away actually. Not too much of a threat, but maybe b4 could have been a possibility. So she played bishop b6 and white just took on b6. So I guess she'll play with knight e3 next. And maybe try to play h4. It's
yeah, that will be a little bit uncomfortable for black, probably.
Try to exploit not having castled yet somehow. Interesting.
But still, black can play bishop e6 and knight c4 as we discussed, try to get rid of the knight. And
yeah, it's not going to be so easy. It's amazing. 36 games is really a lot to try to follow, of course.
Yeah.
So 31. Which one is board 31?
Is it Fang Kun against Gao?
Yes,
Chloe?
That is. Yeah, Chloe Gao. Yep, that is it. So again, these are still the young players. White has a pretty threatening looking position here. We have ideas like queen h6 and also rook a3, g3. This is going to be if black survives this, it's going to be difficult.
Yeah, that bishop in a5 kind of stayed out of play. It has to be brought back somehow.
Yeah, then bishop needs to come to g7, but that's
Yeah.
it's not going to be a...
Maybe through d8 and f5, but then f5 there's a pawn in e4, so that's not going to be fun to trade those.
Yeah, white, and by this point, you know, next move, white's playing queen h6. Yeah,
maybe black has to start with g7.
What's that? King g7 first.
Maybe black has to start king g7, yeah.
Yeah. And then try maybe to play rook g8.
e5, bishop d8, I want to say. Looks really passive, but I think black has to do it.
Yeah. e5, bishop d8. Maybe white starts with rook a3. Yeah, still a difficult position, but we'll see what happens there. Here, white may be winning material. There's some complications here. White took a pawn, queen f5, rook c6. Okay, so here, young champ 05. Which game is that?
Is that the next one? The one on top?
Should be yeah, should be just on top.
Proxy Kushi, if hopefully I said it right, against Kelsey Liu.
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, so white here managed to take a piece with the idea of a fork, and black doesn't have a good response here. So that looks like trouble for the black pieces here.
Is there any way we can get something back? No. Because even if the back rank is an issue, the bishop controls c1, so there will not be any kind of mates that I see.
Yeah, and knight takes e3. White first takes on f8. Yeah, this is going to be it should be a clean piece for white. Yeah, clean piece for white. Okay, so going now, board 29. So board 29 is...
I'm not sure who has white. Durbha Antara against...
Megan Kwok, I believe.
Yeah. I think that's the one, right?
Yeah, that is the one. Possibly black will lose a pawn on e5 here. I don't think there's necessarily tactics that work. So this could be preferable for the white pieces. 28. We got 28 more.
Keep going. Who's next? Next is wait. Is it Sanjana Vital? Is that another very talented young girl from? I think she's from New York. I think should be. Not everyone. I gotta say that not everyone is exactly from New York. I think some people are New Jersey or have ties in New York. The idea was to have as many people from New York as possible, but I think some might have. Some of the players might not be exactly from New York.
Yeah, it's
like currently in New York.
A bit of a broad definition of New York.
Yeah.
But keep in mind, this is of course just for a good cause.
Yes.
The teams are not getting paid. It's all for charity, and so yeah. But white here has a good position, and white is Su Kai Jin. I'm sure I'm saying it wrong.
Yes, Su Kai Jin.
You know,
Daniel is very, very quiet. He doesn't want to say that our pronunciation of the names is bad. He's very kind to us.
He has been very kind.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the top, just because it's you know, I think it is fun to see these guys like Joel Benjamin playing. Joel Benjamin seems to have a nice position here, maybe. Although it's complicated. There's pieces hanging. The black bishop is hanging here. The white knight is hanging here. So it's a question of what is going to happen here.
Is everything sticking together if black just plays a move like knight f6?
Knight f6, maybe white can play for the Isolani, and well, there's all sorts of pieces that are hanging everywhere for both sides. So it's a complicated one. But
Yeah,
here,
it's two ideas even.
yeah, maybe rook takes b2 with the ideas of some sort of queen e5 attacking b2 and h2. Although even that is not, it's not losing for white because white can play knight f3 and on, oh, maybe it is actually the bishop on e2 hangs too. So many hanging pieces. It's this position is a real mess. I don't know. Maybe white could take on f6 though.
Yeah, taking on f6 might win for white because queen e5, knight f3. Yeah.
Yeah, queen e5, knight f3. It's really sharp because there's there's pieces hanging on like all the sides. It's interesting. Yeah, so maybe that is good for white, but so that's on knight f6. Black may be able to play a move that just keeps things together a little bit, like bishop d6. Or maybe that's not so clear. The knight on h4, well, it's still not really attacked because you can take on d6. So, in fact, maybe white just retreats knight f3 and yeah, complicated position between grandmasters Joel Benjamin and Andre Kwon. Next one was a draw. That was Kevin. Yeah, that was a game that. How did it end in a draw right there? That's crazy.
Yeah, why would they do that?
I guess
I don't know.
Kevin.
So as to be able to keep an eye on things.
Yeah, exactly. He wanted to keep an eye on things, so he was content with a draw with white. But interesting game. Then we have the Wu Xiaobin that we saw before. He has the black pieces here against Oliver Barbosa. Black does seem to be doing pretty well here, I would think. Just the knight is strong. Black is up a pawn, so I don't see how white is necessarily going to get. Well, I guess is it white's move here? No, it's black's move, right? So he's not able to capture the c5 pawn just yet. There might be knight takes e3 too if you capture it. So maybe not. Yeah, but he just defends the pawn, and now maybe black wants to play b5 and c4. This looks like a good position for Wu Xiaobin. David Brodsky with black of the New York team against who is the white player here again? It's Su Lian, yeah. So that one.
I'm not sure which piece is better here. I like the knight. Maybe I like the knight more than the bishop.
Yeah, it looks like black is maybe under some pressure. Not so easy to kick it away with this pawn. Maybe white has an idea to play c5 next too. Yeah, this seems a little bit dangerous for black to play. More ways for black to go wrong than white. Alex Ostrovsky is the next one here, and Alex Ostrovsky is playing against Tin Jingyao. Yeah. Do you know this player, Daniel?
Yeah, surprisingly I do actually, even though he's quite a young player. I played a blitz match against him when he was really young, 6 years ago. And I was just able to win 5.5, 3.5. So I was very impressed. And right now he outrates me, so I'm even more impressed. Basically, he should be a grandmaster already, but unfortunately, Singapore has this military service, which means he's being delayed a while.
How long is military service in Singapore?
2 years.
Wow.
Yeah, that's interesting. I guess the position is probably reasonable for both. I'm not, again, this is the Benko style. I'm not a specialist of these positions. The next game is Justin Sarkar, who's been playing in New York chess. You know, I saw him for probably 20 years in New York, someone who grew up there. And he's quite a good player as well.
Yeah, I think he has maybe I don't know if he has GM norms. Does he have? I think he has 2 GM norms, if I'm not mistaken. I might be. I know he was trying very hard a few years back to go, but I think he puts a lot of pressure on himself sometimes, and unfortunately things haven't gone so well for him. He's lost a lot of rating, but he's very sharp tactical player in general. I played him, I think twice, and always got some messy position, and I felt like
Yeah.
he was able to. Maybe only maybe 3 times I actually played, and once I was able to make a draw, but other times I got into some messy positions and wasn't able to defend against his attacks. But here he doesn't have that kind of sharpness yet, but certainly a better position. I think after knight d6, maybe black can play. Black should have a better position, but I could be wrong.
Yeah. Irina Krush has been saying that there are indeed several players who are not from New York. I guess she's listening to the stream because I think her games, her opponent, who is actually a very strong woman player, right? Lee, what is her name? Lee Rufan? I don't say that one right either.
Rufan, yeah.
Yeah, so she must have been having connection issues today. So I think, so Irina's games were not finished. But yeah, Justin, it's nice to see him play in this match, and hopefully he does get these norms in the end at some point. Board 7. Hello, Irina from Irina Krush, who is I guess in the chat instead of being in the player's box.
That's good. That's good. Hi, Irina. And Irina's been at first when Kevin and we had first started talking about organizing this match. Irina was the first person that I thought to write, actually, and she herself has had a difficult time with the virus. She got it pretty early on, and she's still recovering. So I was very happy to see a lot of the chess community was sending her good vibes and praying for her recovery. She's the only American player who's a female player who holds the title of Grandmaster and 7 times US Women's Champion, and a lot of amazing success. And it's great to have heard from her immediately, and then she continued helping put the team together, working from the New York site. So
yeah,
it's great. Yeah.
She is actually asking to join the stream, so maybe we can let her in.
That'll be awesome.
I can send her. Of course, she has a story of her own with this virus, like you said. So it's definitely nice to see her back in action after. Although she had an easy time today because her opponent disconnected, but maybe maybe she can join us in the commentary instead.
Sure. Meanwhile, we can talk.
Yeah.
While you're working.
Yeah.
You're working on the details. Daniel and I can talk about some of the things happening. So this game. So this was, which game was this one?
Well, this one here was Irina's game that I guess ended with a disconnection.
That was Irina's game.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And so now
now
I'm going to Carissa's.
The next one.
Carissa, yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna talk about this while we let you deal with the
technical,
maybe technical difficulties, or not difficulties, just small things to get ready to have Irina joining us. So what do you think, Daniel, about this position?
Fun queen sacrifice, yeah. But
yeah,
probably shouldn't take it.
When?
Yeah.
Hey guys.
Hi.
When? Hi, Irina.
Hey Sabrina, how are you?
Good. It's great to see you.
Same here. I've been watching you guys from the very beginning, you know?
That's great.
Yeah, your games were short. I guess your opponent was having connection issues, right?
Oh, wait, 1 second. I see there's a problem. One second.
Yeah, your games were short. I guess you got to please don't listen to the stream.
1 second. Oh no.
Your games were short. I guess you got to
please.
Yeah, there we go. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I was gonna have to mute you there.
I'm so sorry. Yeah, I was watching you guys, and I didn't realize I need to turn that off before I go on. Yeah, so the first game we didn't really get it off the ground, and this game either. I don't know. We got 9 moves in. It was going to be interesting in the King's Indian, but well, it's unfortunate.
Yeah. So are you're feeling all better?
I can tell you about the players and the teams since
Sure.
I helped pick some of them.
Yes. Tell us whatever you like. You can tell us what games to go to.
My students, numbers of my students are playing in this match.
Sure. Which ones?
Okay. I think there's like 3. 2 girls. We got this one's gonna be interesting. Chen Yu Zhao. We call her Mandy.
Okay. And what is it? Do you know what her she's let's see.
Mandy Z. It's like somewhere she'll be playing on girls under 12.
Mandy Z. So here we go. Oh, she won a queen.
No, that was her first game. That was her first game when she won the queen. This is round 1. Round 2 is the Sicilian.
That is a Sicilian.
No. Trust me, this is round 1. I watched the games. Yeah, now this is the one. Yep. No. That wasn't it. That was round 1, Pascal.
Okay.
You gotta go to round 2.
Well then I don't know.
Can you go in any different way? Can you go in through the chess 24 thing? Because it just go to round 2.
Yeah, I could do it in the chess 24.
I was following that game, so I saw that it was like a Sicilian. Bishop b5 with queen d4 line on move 3.
Yeah, I'm looking for it here.
Same. I don't see.
don't see
What did you say her name? What did you say her name was?
Chen Yu Zhao. Zhao is the last name, and she's playing.
So I did find
Okay.
it.
Okay. It was like board 34 or something. It's board 34.
Yes.
Yeah, for some reason that one.
That one, Yeah, you're getting it from round 1 somehow.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Well, let me try one thing. So if I go here.
I'll show it the other way. That's fine.
Yeah, you'll show it the other way. Okay, cool. Let's see what's going on there. She had lost a pawn somewhere. Is she going to have some compensation? Oh, yeah. It's good now. Very good.
So Irina's rooting for her students. I guess that makes
Well,
sense.
you know, it's really funny because it's like, as a teacher, you have a competitive interest, like not only in your own games, right, but like in your students' games, you root for them. So yeah, she's doing pretty well today. It was nice. They were very excited to get this opportunity to play.
That's great. So who else are your students here?
All right, Chloe. She's the one who played the last game in the last match. Remember?
Yeah. So that I think her nickname here is Closter.
Yeah. Gao. Yoga. Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. Yeah. This was like, yeah, she tried to go for the king, but actually it was not going to be that simple. Wow, she has no time.
Wait, wasn't this the game we actually looked at earlier and the bishop was in a5 or something?
Yeah, so this is sort of what we were talking about. We had this position here where she doubled the pawns, played queen c1, and this looked really scary for black.
Yeah.
But
black managed to secure the king somehow. That was a nice maneuver. That was really interesting.
So what if we played rook a3 here?
Bishop takes. Maybe she was scared of bishop takes c5, but I
king
think
h8 probably. King h8 maybe.
So
well,
king
or bishop c5. Yeah.
King h8. I wanted to play knight g5 with rook h3, which is sneaky.
Oh, that was your plan on bishop c5 though. Anyway.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's my plan. That's my plan.
But I'm not sure. Does it work?
Well, it actually works because if pawn takes, I can just take and do this.
You do that first. Yeah.
Nice idea, Pascal.
Sure. Thank you. So maybe
Yeah.
rook a3 would have been a good move, but it's a little, of course. So she played rook c1, defended a pawn,
Oh,
and now black does escape. So that's unfortunate.
yeah, we'll have to talk about that. How to attack the king.
Still seems dangerous, but of course when the rook gets to g7, it's not so easy to checkmate. Maybe it was time to I don't know. Huh.
Rook d1 and try to get
Yeah,
rook
I was wondering
d7
rook
maybe.
d1, then I guess black would play rook d8. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe there was not. Maybe here it's not so
Yeah, the knight
trivial.
on h4 isn't doing anything.
Yeah, the knight on h4. Maybe it was possible also to try to play something with e5. But okay, it seems like rook a3 was the would have been the killer. So now
Also,
let's go.
d6 in different positions.
Yeah, I guess now nothing is clear.
Clearly, white's pieces are getting stuck
Does
on the king side.
does black have bishop g5 here, or she wants to play knight g6? Is that the idea?
Oh, that's a good trick. It's a nice trick.
Yeah. I don't know if it
Let's
works.
hope that black gets tempted in, by that.
There's some
By that.
problems here though. Like black can start by taking this one, maybe.
Yeah.
So it's not looking so with
It's
the
not.
back.
Let's
There's
go,
back
let's
rank.
go look at another game.
Let's go look at it.
Okay.
Okay. So did you see, Irina? Did you see how Joel managed to turn a loss into a win in the previous game?
Yeah, I saw those knights.
The
Yeah.
knights are tricky, and here Joel did win the second game in what seemed to be very
good.
convincing fashion. I'm not entirely sure about the results, as Kevin was pointing out in the chat. Some of the results might be unreliable. There were some disconnections, some restarts, so it looked like a really close score, and so I'm not sure. All right, so
Yeah,
let's.
I think it was a little tricky, to make even teams, given like how for the kids it's hard to know their strength.
Yeah.
The Singapore kids have FIDE ratings, and a lot of the American kids either don't, or their FIDE ratings are just like not reflective of their abilities. So I think the fact that the match is close means that we did that like fairly okay, because that was the main goal, was just to make it competitive, right?
Sure. Yeah, competitive is great, and this is obviously for fun. So it's anything that's fairly
I'm
close
looking
is
forward to the rematch. I got to get another chance to do this.
yeah. You've been playing a lot of charity events, right?
Yeah, I did. Yesterday I played the blitzing COVID.
Right. Now,
And Irina did amazing, by the way. She
Well,
finished
I
one of the top players in the Blitz, right? You finished like
Yeah,
top.
I got 7 out of 9 in the blitz, but it was really came down to one game. I played one good game at the end to beat Gordzievsky in the last round, and so that's what kind of made it look good. Other than that, I hadn't done anything special, but
so
somehow it worked out.
and you're feeling mostly recovered from not really.
No,
So it's
no.
still so you're a case that shows that this thing is no joke. No joke even
Yeah,
for
I mean-
young healthy people.
Yeah, like even in my last Facebook post, it was like I was feeling better than I feel like now. Last few days have been like bad again, with the chest pain returning, and just
Yeah.
not a state of health I would wish on anybody.
Okay. Well,
But it doesn't stop me from playing chess.
that's good. We have an interesting position here. Oliver Barbosa is in trouble, I think, against Wu Xiaobin. So that one looks tough. White just still has some tricks maybe, but it just looks like black has too many pawns.
And also, black can just trade queens and win, right?
Oh yeah, right now maybe queen f2 is simple.
Yeah, or take once on g6 and then like queen f2, and you just got the 2 connected passers.
Yeah. Yeah. This doesn't look so great. Now David Brodsky lost against, this is Su Li Yan.
Yeah.
Nice, the back rank defense.
Yeah. Nice final position. It's hard. There's so many games to go through. It's like I'm not used to it. I'm used to these closed tournaments we've been having with like 3 or 4 games. This one has 36. Um,
Yeah.
and
A
so
little
what
bit
is
more
the
challenging, right?
at least according to my looks like, so we have an idea. Looks like Singapore is ahead 12-8 in this one. So New
Wow,
York's New
that's
York's got to win. New York's got to win some games if they want to come back.
Yeah.
maybe.
Let's see. How about Carissa? Carissa's games should
Sure.
make us
So
happy.
her name is Yip Chess.
Yeah.
Yip Chess. So she
And I
won.
think she does have a good position here.
Yeah, and she won the first game, I think. So
She
she's got
did, yeah. That was a good game that Carissa had.
so she's got 2 rooks for the queen here, and this looks good. You're absolutely right. Maybe rook f6 now. They don't have much time. These games are coming to the coming towards the end of these games. They only have about a minute left each here. Um,
Rook f6 looks really annoying.
yeah, there's the idea of rook g6. I mean, frankly, white would be probably
Right.
totally lost even with rook takes e2. But I think here rook g6 and take on g2 is probably going to finish this game.
And
Well,
looks
we're
like
going
she
to get a
played.
point from Vincent's side. That's another kid I know from New York. He's playing Ashwin Sivakumar.
Do you know
And
which one? So this is
I don't know their Chess 24 names, unfortunately, because on Chess 24 it just shows their real names. He's playing. It's like the boys under 15, I think, or under 20 section.
so that that game
Yeah.
is still going on. Siva Kumar. I'll find out what the username
Yeah.
is.
Okay, but that one we'll get a point on that board, so that helps a little bit. Where I'm looking for other boards where we might get a point. Let's see.
Okay, so this is the game. I found it. Vincent Tsai is white here. He has a very nice looking pin on the rook. Yeah, so I guess he is winning. He's just completely winning here. That game is probably about to end.
Vincent has been a counselor at our camps before.
Okay.
He's a really great kid. I like him a lot. He's he's actually very good at teaching chess. And do you know, he's actually doing an online class for the Marshall Chess Club now.
Okay,
And he's only like, I think 14 or 15 years old.
that's great.
Yeah. And Eddie Tian, he seems to be winning against Jun Wei Li.
So Eddie Tian. So that's just
Yeah,
that's
He's breaking
probably
through on G6.
this game. Oh yeah, so this is the Eddie Tian game here. Yeah, so he is breaking through. He has broken through. Oh yeah, this is not a very good looking position for the black side. He is up a rook temporarily. But white has a lot here.
It looks like we're losing Go Zihan versus Jed Sloan.
Okay, Jed had won the first game nicely. This is this game
Yeah.
here.
This seems to have something very funny must have happened to get to this position, because White's got like just a pawn
Oh
and a
yeah.
bishop, and somehow he managed to oh, okay, well, I see now. So it was very pretty. Yeah, he did a nice idea there, and to promote the pawn, and black just can't approach it.
Yeah, this was nice.
Oh yeah, and white has a G pawn, not an H pawn at the end. Yeah.
Yeah, so so he's forced to play this, but yeah, this one is going to be winning for white.
Yeah,
We-
just taking the pawn, and the
we
king
haven't-
and pawn is winning. Otherwise, it would be
Yeah, with an H pawn, then it would be a draw. But with the G
no.
pawn,
But like, even if you had the pawn in G5, right? You couldn't. If white had the pawn in G5,
pawn on G5.
would you win it?
If you can play, as long as you can play bishop takes H7, you should be able to win. I think.
Yeah. Actually, you would
Yeah.
be winning. Yeah. It's winning. It's winning.
There's only one win position with the G pawn, right? Pawn on G6, bishop on H7.
Yeah,
Right.
that one is a draw. Yeah.
So there's not too many games left. There's this one here, Marty 435. Which one is Marty 4? This is game 13. So, I think. Not actually sure which.
I think there are only 3 games left that I see.
Yeah, I think you're right, and it is very close. So for round 2, yeah, I
Oh,
mean
we're
it's
losing. We're losing. Also, Gary Huang is losing to Timothy Chan. So it looks like that point. Without that point, we can't really tie this, can we?
But I think Pascal said earlier that the matches will count differently, like, right? Pascal, you're mentioning it will count a little bit differently, so it will not go by the.
Yeah, it's not entirely clear because it depends. Like the way the scoring is being done, like winning 2-0 is the same as winning 1.5 to half. So,
But Pascal, what's interesting is were the players actually informed of that? Because that's the first time I'm hearing about it. So I think it's funny because no one. I mean, that's kind of a big deal, and I don't think any of the players knew that. So
they're all playing for the score.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
I'm not
changes things.
I'm not the organizer, so I'm not totally sure. But I think I mean it's true that
But
it's helpful
what's
to
funny,
know.
I see my student Manzi, so she made a draw as if she knew your formula because now she got to one and
There
a
you go.
half.
See.
Although in reality she was winning that final position, so I don't know
Well, then
why.
you'll have to find out from her. Maybe she knew.
Yeah, but I didn't know, and I'm a player, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but Gary Wan, I think I did find the game here. He is in a bad situation here. And then there's also Justin Sarkar still playing, I think.
Yes.
And that game, Justin is in
Oh.
trouble also. White has a lot of pawns. But he does have, it's one of these positions where with no time, maybe all results are possible. What is going on here?
But
Rook
isn't
takes-
that mate in 1? Oh, the rook is in A2. Oh my goodness.
But there's queen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think that was a good practical move.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
practical move because he's trying to play rook a8, rook g8. So on rook takes e4, white is just winning. So it could be that this is just losing for black, actually. Most likely it is. So that leaves really only... I think that might actually be the last game. Knight f3 played, and I guess white can just play king f2 and there are no checks. So that looks like it's going to be the end. So yeah, I think quite a lot of money was raised for this. So this is it's been great to be a part of. And I wonder if maybe Kevin could come on the show and say a few words as well. I'll send him an email actually. So bear with me. Everybody talk, by the way. I'm just going to be quiet for a second.
Yeah, so it looks like there are 2 games. No, 1 game left, but that one was gonna it just finished. It was the game again. Gary Huang was playing, and I don't know what was happening because there was a game at some point that wasn't showing up, so I'm not quite sure.
what's interesting, Sabina? I think overall we got kind of killed on the girl boards.
Oh, okay, that's not
overall
good.
in the match. Now it's very funny. I mean, just because we could have gone with certainly stronger players, but because of that issue, not knowing exactly how the USDF ratings are stacking up with FIDE, and some of the choices, we went with not as high rated players as we could have. So I would say that is a bit of a strategic mistake.
I mean, of course, it's always so tricky. But...
It sounds like you want.
Yeah.
It sounds like assuming Singapore won, which I believe that they have. It sounds like New York wants a rematch.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind.
Okay. Well, we certainly would be happy to have a rematch
I think
here.
this is a really fun match. Like personally, I really love the idea of like letting especially the younger players play. You know, just from giving them the kind of a sense of like international competition for a lot of kids. You know, they haven't really had that experience, especially in the younger categories. And yeah, I mean, it's at least, I think for me, it's at least as intriguing as like what's going on the top boards with like the more, you know, seasoned players.
For sure, yeah, and I think with a little bit more time planning and everything, we could have a better idea of who is who, and you know, because this all happened so fast, we could potentially like have make sure we know who to follow and have a little bit of a backstory about everybody from someone like you, so we can cover them a little better.
Yeah.
Hey guys. Hi everyone. How's it going?
Kevin is here.
Kevin. Oh, hey, Kevin.
Hey, Irina. Hi guys.
I'm actually going to try one thing that might actually allow me to show names, so give me a second here.
And Kevin, we were all wondering, what did you do that game? You got us all so excited about that final game, and then you guys agreed on a draw so early. What happened in that game, the last game?
So, yeah,
that
I was
planned?
telling. No, it wasn't. It was not planned. I was telling my friend after the game that we basically rattled off 20 moves of theory, and yeah, for example, I think the move G5, it was played by Gawain Jones. I think it's kind of rare. I think there's like something like 15 games played in that line. So yeah, so I think in this position, I was just trying to remember whether I should go knight d2 or knight a3.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the position is just nonsensical. You don't really, I don't even know where to go. Like, how do you explain this position? So
We weren't sure. We were just going to look forward to how the things were going to unfold in the game.
I had no idea of the theory of this bishop c4 move, and then when I saw you guys play everything fast, like especially g5, and then the next like 5 moves all blitzed out, I was like, oh wow, like this is something I've just never seen. But
yeah, I was really surprised that Mark like knew this. I mean, obviously he's a very strong player, but this is a really rare line that I prepared with black as well as white, so I kind of know this. But it was at this point when I was not sure whether I should have gone knight d2 and knight a3, and I know that one of these was dangerous for white, and the other probably would lead to equality. So he has been playing everything quickly, and at this point he offered a draw. So I could risk it and try to play for a win in this position, and it's a coin toss basically, right? Or I could take a draw and then try to make sure that the match is going smoothly in the other boards.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the convenient excuse I gave myself. So.
That was a good excuse.
It was funny because yeah, sorry. So I was asking him like why did he offer, and he just said I forgot what to do after this. So
yeah, well, it was just funny because it seemed like such a sharp opening, and then it just ended suddenly. But yeah, no, it kind of makes sense. So
yeah,
what
I
is
share that after?
Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, I could share that after move 11. After g5. Yeah, bishop takes g5 is losing by force in this position, so that's what I can say. Bishop g5, rook g8, f4, and bishop h6 wins. If you run this on the engine, apparently. So
okay,
this was what I remember.
Well, that's it's nice to see some deep preparation in this match. Yeah, that's cool. So now, do you have sort of a final score? Because it was hard for me to keep track. I mean, I saw what was on our page, which I think was mostly right, and it shows Singapore with a narrow but win. Do you think that's correct?
Yeah. I'm looking at the round 2 score. I think round 2 we did better than in round 1. And based on we are still confirming the results, but it looks like based on match points, the current score is 20-15. So there's one game that's missing, and I'm trying to find which one it is.
Yeah, there was one that I think we never got, and I don't know if it's because it wasn't played or something else happened. But overall, actually, we did manage to get all the games on the tournament page, which for something that came together just pretty quickly, I thought was great. I wanted to ask you, what if you can share a little bit about what was raised and the people that did donate some funds, just so we can mention them.
Yeah, great. I think this whole initiative was started a couple of months ago because of obviously the coronavirus pandemic, and that we organize several events. I think Daniel himself has volunteered his time many times with master classes, and we are sponsoring these events, and the money all goes to charity to help families who are affected by the pandemic. And this match with New York was kind of like the finale for us. And for this event, we raised about 18,000 Singapore dollars. I think that works out to be about 12,000 USD, thereabout. Thanks for giving me the chance to thank Mr. Zhang Changjie of Team International Trading, Mr. Joshua Lim, Ocean Health, and also a very generous donor who prefers to remain anonymous. So as of now, I think we have raised about 82,000 Sing dollars. That's about USD 60K.
Yeah, I think it's very impressive. It's great. I know Irina, who is on the stream now, was saying that she would like a rematch because she feels that the women board, they could field some better players in a rematch.
Yeah, the girl boards, not the women. The women did fine.
Well, but you got lucky. You didn't even have to play.
Yeah, I'm not talking about myself. I mean, Carissa won her games, and Rachel went 1-1. So I think it was a good choice, and we got her to play, even though she's only 10, but we found a way to
Rachel Lee, only 10 years old. The first game was kind of a wild game. She ended up winning, which was nice. Nice to see.
Yeah, very impressive actually. 10 years old. I haven't learned chess at that age, so.
Yeah, her first game I thought was really quite good. I didn't see her second game and what happened there, but the first one was overall a nice game.
Yeah, I saw the first game. Even at the end, I thought it was getting very nervy, but she sort of kept everything together.
Mm-hmm.
So it was fun that we had a lot of the top prospects. At least in New York, I know them more than in Singapore, but I imagine it was the same for both teams. But yeah.
Yeah, we basically fielded as far as we could our best players.
To get all these grandmasters and
And it showed in the games, I think. Grandmaster Wong Ming Kong, Chan Ping Kong, I think they have retired for a while. And I had to drag them out. And I kept telling them that this is charity. And then now they are kind of giving me a hard time, like, why do you give me such strong opponents? We lost 2-0. But I think we all sort of we got together. It's for a good cause, and I think everybody had fun.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think John Fedorovitz, right, was playing against Wang Meng Kong, and he also doesn't. I don't think John plays too often in live. Well, he doesn't play live anymore, right? Very rarely, if at all.
Yeah,
but
in this match we got two U.S. legends, right? John Fedorovitz and Joel Benjamin. Yeah,
both sort of around the same generation, you could say, right? I mean, and Joel still plays on the world senior team that has that the US has won the world championship a few times recently, so he is.
And I think they've always been good friends.
Yes. At least as far as I know, yeah. And I think they might have lived together at some point. But Joel was playing in the, I guess not in the veterans boards. He was playing on the regular.
But
he won 2-0.
And then he was
Yeah.
He was pretty speedy, in his moves as well. And of course, I think in the first round, 94 was sensational, winning the piece. And I was just thinking, with all the knights hopping around, it was just a matter of time before he wins. Like, he wins something, and it really happened.
Yeah.
So I thought that was very impressive.
Yeah, he is. But he's still fairly active, I think, compared to some of the other guys. He does coach a lot.
Joel said before the match that he doesn't play much online chess.
Right.
So I was a little worried about that, but at least he plays real chess.
Yeah, but and it should also be mentioned that he also had the coronavirus, and so he was so we had at least two players. Were there more players, do you know, in New York who have been ill or?
I don't know more.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. But you tested positive before, so but it's just to see if you have the antibodies, I guess.
Yeah, but the funny thing is, it's a little bit concerning because the fast response test that they did on me, like the nurse said, like it doesn't show any antibodies.
Right.
And just what I was like, it was shocking, right? And then the doctor at the end said, well, maybe there's like a little bit, but they sent it to the lab for more testing. So it's like even possible that I might not even have had a good antibody response.
Okay. Well,
we'll see.
Well, good luck. hopefully you only get this once. I mean, I know there's still
definitely
I guess
don't want
the science. They're not even totally sure of the science of it, whether people are necessarily immune, and for how long afterwards. But would be nice to be.
Yeah, you feel like you don't want to fight this war again,
Yeah. Well, Kevin, anything else, or Sabina, Daniel? Like, I don't want to be hogging the conversation. Any parting words? I don't know if there's anything else you guys want to talk about before we.
I mean, yeah, obviously I have to thank the Martial Chess Club for putting this together, and I know that there have been a lot of scrambling. Irina has been replying emails, on the go, I believe, and of course Sabina, Elshan, who's not here with us, Prof. Noah Chazin, who also helped with the, basically putting all the players together, sending emails, and in the middle of the night, and getting this done. It was an impressive team effort, I would say. So thanks very much for all the help to put this together.
Thank you, Kevin. I think no one worked harder than you.
That is
no.
That is definitely the case. Kevin was on everyone, making sure that if they didn't respond to emails, that they eventually would. So, and that's what was needed to actually make this happen. Because with 36 boards is an ambitious project. Even at first, I thought it was going to be like 15 boards or something like that, and then I realized it's much larger scale, which is good. And we were certainly happy at Chess24 to help you put it together, and hopefully everybody's happy, and we do this again, whether it's for the same cause or for another cause.
Yeah, it was a great friendly match.
Yeah, some really exciting games. Roller coaster rides all around. I saw many games that swung from one extreme to the other. We are going to do some analysis of the games anyway, so probably we'll send the analysis over to Chess24, and you can see what you want to do with it.
We should get an article published on some of the, we'll publish an article on Chess24, once we know the results are final and so on, and then, but we should also publish some, like maybe write an article for Chess Life or some of the magazines or something.
Yeah, that would be nice. And always open for a rematch if you like, Irina.
Yeah. All right. I was waiting for you to say that.
Maybe
anytime.
Maybe the two of you should play each other in the next match.
Yeah,
but
the two organizers.
The captains, the captains or the organizers. Yeah. So
I'll make sure my connection works.
All right, guys, I gotta go. Thank you so much to everyone, and you guys, Daniel, Sabina, and Pascal. It was really nice watching you do the commentary. I enjoyed it.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for joining us, and everyone who's watched, everyone who's played and participated. This was a lot of fun, and hopefully we do this again soon. And thanks Kevin for being the mastermind.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you all very much also for having us, and thank you, Kevin, and everyone who's brought. Who has donated to raise money for this great cause, and for the players for agreeing to participate and giving us some great fun games to watch and comment on. And it was great being with all of you guys here. So if there's gonna be a rematch, please count me in to continue doing the commentary. I'm not gonna get in. I think it's too much of a pressure, but I would love to be back if you'll have me. And thank you, Kevin, again for putting all of this together. I know you've done a lot of work and you spend a lot of time, and I do appreciate your passion for for this. And yeah, it was great being with both you, Pascal and Daniel. And it was great to have Irina on as well, and great to see her recover. So yeah, thank you guys. That's all from
Thanks,
me.
everyone. Yeah, thanks, Sabina. Very kind of you.
Sabina.
Thank you.
All right.
You
Thank
guys.
you, everybody.
Bye.